Dear students, welcome to my channel. In this class, we are going to discuss the defects in crystals. It is also called as imperfections in crystals. So, what is meant by a defect? If something is not proper, we say it as defective. In the same way, if you take crystals, we know that there is a regular three-dimensional arrangement of the particles. If there is any deviation in that regularity, or if there is any deviation from the regular arrangement, then it is called as a defective crystal. So, anything or any irregularity from the ideal arrangement of the particles is called as a crystal defect. So, what we can write is a deviation from ideal arrangement of particles in a crystal is called as a crystal defect. So we have a particular and regular arrangement for the particles in a crystal. If that regular arrangement is missed or the pattern is disturbed, then it is called as a defective crystal. For example, if one point or one row of points are missed or they changed their position, the crystal is said to be defective. So actually these defects are formed during crystallization, and also some crystal defects are formed due to the variation in the temperatures. Of course, these crystal defects are useful and they have some applications in our science. Let us discuss in the later part. But let us study the types of defects in the crystals. So what is a defect? Deviation from the regular ideal arrangement of the particles or atoms in a crystal is called as crystal defect. There are two types of defects. So one is point defect. The crystal defects are of two types. One is a point defect. The first class is point defects, and the second one is line defects. LINE, line defect. Easy to remember. Point defect, line defect. You know, a point means an atom or a particle here in the crystal. Line means entire line of atoms or entire line or row of particles. So, what is a point defect in a crystal? So, let us discuss. First, I will discuss point defect. The defect around any particular point or an atom in a crystal is called as a point defect. The defect or deviation in the arrangement around a particular atom or around an atom, simply you can say around a particle or atom is called as a point defect. The defect or the deviation in the regular arrangement around a particle or an atom in the crystal is called as a point defect. For example, if you take some crystal, atoms will be regularly arranged. If one atom is missed from that arrangement, then it is a point defect, because here one atom, the defect is due to that missing of one atom. So this is called as a point defect. Now on the other hand, let us go for the line defect. So line defect, line means a defect, entire line is defective. That means the defect is in entire row of atoms. If the irregularity is found in the entire row of atoms or particles in a crystal, it is called as a line defect here. So it is a row of atoms. So it occurs here entire row will be defective. Here only one point, around one point will be defective. You know that points can be arranged one adjacent to other. If the defect is only at around one point, then it is called as a point defect due to that point alone. If entire row is irregular or defective, then it is called as a line defect. So what is a point defect and what is a line defect? Point defect is due to the defect around a particular atom or point. What is a line defect? This defect is due to the irregularity around an entire row or in an entire row if is defective, then it is called as a line defect. Line means a row here. Point means a particular atom or particle here. So how many types of defects are there? Point defects and line defects. But in our syllabus we have only point defects. This point defect will be again divided into three classes. First one is stoichiometric defect. The second one is non-stoichiometric defect. The second type of defect is non-stoichiometric defect. And the last point defect is impurity defect. Point defect means the defect is around a particular point, not an entire crystal. So, but the crystal is said to be defective, but the defect is due to the one point. Sometimes in anywhere, if one of the people misbehaves, the entire group of people will get the bad name. In the same way, if any one point is missed in that crystal, it is a point defect. The defect is due to one point, it is called as a point defect. But still the crystal is said to be entirely defect. So, the point defects are stoichiometric defects, non-stoichiometric defects and impurity defect. Now let us discuss these three in detail. First defect is stoichiometric defect. Stoichiometric defect. In this class we study stoichiometric defect. The defect which does not affect which does not depend which does not disturb the stoichiometry of the compound is called as a stoichiometric defect. The defect due to which there is no disturbance in the stoichiometry of the compound. Due to this defect, there is no disturbance in the stoichiometry of the compound. What is meant by stoichiometry? For example, let us take some 10 NaCl particles. In the crystal, there are 10 NaCl molecules. That will give 10 Na plus and 10 Cl minus. So, the ratio between the sodium and chloride ions are 1:1 here. Now, due to the defect, some 2 sodium ions and 2 chloride ions are missed from that crystal. So that the number of sodium ions is now 8 and the number of chloride ions are 8. Why? Because of the point defect, some of the points are missed here. Because of the defect, 2 sodium ions and 2 chloride ions are missed. Now 8 sodium ions and 8 chloride ions are left here. Now what is the ratio here between those two atoms? 1:1. Before the defect it is 1:1. After the defect also it is 1:1. That means there is no change in the stoichiometry. That is why these are called as stoichiometric defects. So the defects by which there is no change in the stoichiometry of the compound is called as a stoichiometric defect. Because of this defect, there will not be any change in the stoichiometry. Now let us study the stoichiometric defect. Actually, the stoichiometric defects are also called as intrinsic defects or thermodynamic defects. These stoichiometric defects will be again of two types, that is vacancy defect, and the second defect is interstitial defect. Interstitial defect. Once again, we are discussing only point defect in our syllabus. Point defects will be of three types: non-stoichiometric, stoichiometric and impurity defect. Right now we are studying stoichiometric defect. The defects which does not cause any change in the stoichiometry of the compound is called as a stoichiometric defect. And here this stoichiometric defect is of two types, that is vacancy defect and interstitial defect. Now let us study the vacancy defect first, and let us move to the interstitial defect later. So tell me, how many types of stoichiometric defects are there? Two types. So what are those? Vacancy defect and interstitial defect. Now let us study the vacancy defect first. So point defects are three types: stoichiometric, non-stoichiometric, and impurity defect. Again, these stoichiometric defects are of two types: vacancy defect and interstitial defect. Now let me go for the first type of stoichiometric defect, that is vacancy defect. Easy to understand here. Just if you understand the terminology, it will be very easy. Vacancy defect, the defect due to the vacancy. For example, here I am taking a crystal. A sample of crystal is taken here. Let us take some atoms here. Some anions are some atoms you can take. Some atoms I am taking here. So I have considered one atom, one crystal here. This is the arrangement of the particles. Now let us imagine that one of the particle is missed. That means it is shifted to the another part of the crystal, But anyway, what happened here? A vacancy is created here. So vacancy, you know what is meant by vacancy. So that here we have to have one point, but that point has left and moved to the other part of the crystal. So because of which a vacancy is formed. So this is called as a vacancy defect. The vacancy defect is formed by the movement of one of the atoms to other parts of the crystals. So this is a vacancy defect. Look here one atom is missed and it went to the other part of the crystal. So that here a vacancy is created. So this is a vacancy defect. As it is creating a vacancy, it is called as a vacancy defect here. Actually, if you observe in this vacancy defect term, the density will be decreased here. Important thing is in vacancy defect term, density will be decreased here. Why? Because here one of the particle is missed. So that what happened? The mass will be decreased. So the density will be decreased. So due to vacancy defect, density decreases. This is most important and we have to remove. Now let us go for the next defect, that is interstitial defect. Interstitial defect. So vacancy defect is due to the migration of one of the particles, one or more particles from their lattice to the other part of the crystal. They will move to the other part of the crystal so that a vacancy is created here. Now, interstitial defect. Now I am drawing a crystal here. If you observe here, so this is a crystal here with a regular arrangement. Here, this site is, the empty site is called as void. We know that already what is meant by void. So it is also called as interstitial site. It is nothing but the gap between the particles or atoms in a crystal. So now let us imagine that here some other particle, maybe from this or any other particle here, one particle, other particles from the other part of the crystal. So it has occupied the interstitial site. This is the interstitial site here. So now what happened? The regularity of the regular arrangement of the crystal is affected. So this is a defect now, because there should not be any point here. But this point has come and occupied the interstitial site from the other part of the crystal. So what happened here? An interstitial defect is happening. So what is an interstitial defect? That is due to the presence of the atoms or particles in the unwanted atom here, unexpected here. So presence of an atom or particle in the interstitial site caused the interstitial defect. But what happened here? Due to this defect, here the mass is increased in this part. So when the mass is increased, what happens to density? Density will be increased. So here density is decreased. vacancy defect. But here some of the atoms occupied this defect is due to the occupancy of interstitial site by the atoms. So some atoms here occupied the interstitial site, and so that the regular arrangement is deviated, so that interstitial defect is occurred. So in vacancy defect, one atom will leave and creates a vacancy, atom or a particle. In interstitial defect, one atom or a particle will occupy the interstitial site. It is unexpected, it should not be here, but it occupied the interstitial site. What is the consequence? Because of vacancy defect, the density of the crystal decreases. Because of the interstitial defect, the density of the crystal will be increased. So I told you that the stoichiometric defects are of two types, that is a vacancy defect and the interstitial defects. But these two defects are observed in non-ionic compounds. You know, ionic compounds means that have electrovalent bond. But whatever I said, that is vacancy defect and an interstitial defect, that are common in non-ionic compound, that occurs in non-ionic compounds. Now what about the ionic compounds? So ion defect is of vacancy defect and interstitial defect. In ionic compounds also it is present, but in ionic compound the entire crystal must be neutral. For example, when positive ion is missed, same number of negative ions must be missed, because it has to maintain the electric neutrality in case of ionic compounds. If the defect is there, still it has to maintain the electric neutrality, because always the crystal is neutral here. So same vacancy defect and interstitial defect will also be present in ionic crystals, but that will be called as a Frenkel defect, and a Schottky defect. So look here, in ionic compounds, what are the defects present in stoichiometric defects? It is a Frenkel defect and Schottky. Non-ionic compound, it is vacancy defect and interstitial defect. Both are same here. Frenkel and Schottky defect is similar to that vacancy defect and interstitial defect. But these are in ionic compound. Why it is here? Because in ionic compound, though the defect is there, it should maintain the electric neutrality. Now let us study in detail. The first defect is Frenkel defect. These two defects are very important of all the defects, that is Frenkel defect and Schottky defect. Let us see a Frenkel defect. Here I will take a crystal here for your understanding. Let us take one crystal here. In the crystal we have anions and cations. So I have taken some of the anions and some of the cations to explain here. So this is a crystal, ionic crystal, so that we have anions and cations. So this is an ionic crystal. For example, let us imagine that it is a silver iodide crystal. All the cations are silver ions, Ag plus ions, cations, and anions are I minus ions. So this is the perfect crystal without any defect. Now let us imagine that one of the points, for example, say it as the silver. Why I am taking here silver? Because if you compare anion and cation, the anion size will be larger than the cation. Now this silver cation has vacated here. So silver cation, and it occupied the position here. Look here. What happened here? This is the vacancy created. Here actually silver was present. But due to the defect, what happened here? That silver ion, being very small, it is migrated and occupied the interstitial site. It is nothing but an interstitial site defect. You know that if any ion is present in an interstitial site, it is not expected here. It is not there in the ideal arrangement. But this cation, due to defect, it is present here. So this defect is a Frenkel defect. So what is a Frenkel defect? That is due to migration of cation. It is due to the migration of cation to interstitial site. So what is a Frenkel defect? Frenkel defect is due to the defect that is arising from the movement of the or migration of the cation to an interstitial site. So here a vacancy is formed. Actually, with respect to this point, there is a vacancy defect. Vacancy defect means that should have to give the vacancy. So with respect to this point, it is a vacancy defect. But here actually what happened, this point is migrated to the interstitial site. So here in this new location, what we have, interstitial defect we have. If any unwanted point is present in interstitial defect, unexpected, here silver plus should not present, but it is presenting. So that what happened, defect is created and this defect is called as Frenkel defect. Frenkel defect is due to the migration of a cation to the interstitial sites. Very simple. It is due to the migration of cations into the interstitial sites. Now what will happen to the density here? Look here. Here the particle mode is occupying the interstitial site. So that here there is no change in the mass of this small sample. So that there is no change in density. This is most important. There is no change in the density because particle is still present here, so that there is no change in the mass. But usually it is observed on some crystals like silver iodide, silver bromide. These are the crystals, zinc sulfide. These are the some crystals in which we can observe the Frenkel defect. Frenkel defect is nothing but it is a interstitial defect due to the migration of the cation to the interstitial site. Why here only this silver ion or cation is moving? Because here the anion size is larger. It cannot fit into the interstitial site. That is why a cation is moving. That means here in this Frenkel defect there is a large difference between the size of the cation and anion. So cation is very small and anion is very large. So that large difference in the size of the size of cation and anion. That means there should be large difference in the radius or size of the anion and cation to observe Frenkel defect. And one more thing is the ionic compounds with small coordination number. Small coordination number will observe this Frenkel defect. Look here, AgI, AgBr, zinc sulfide, these are all will be observing the Frenkel defect. So due to Frenkel defect there is no change in the density, and to have Frenkel defect there should be large difference in the sizes of the anion and cation, and the coordination number must be small. The compounds which have small coordination number will be showing the Frenkel defect. Now let us go for the Schottky defect. So Frenkel defect is nothing but it is an interstitial defect here. But in ionic compound we call it as a Frenkel defect only. Now let us go for the Schottky defect here. For example, let us take some sodium chloride crystal. So here just I am taking an example of sodium chloride crystal here. So just I want to show how the Schottky defect is formed in the ionic crystal. Look here, this is assume that it is a sodium chloride which has sodium ion and chloride ion. So for example here a sodium ion is completely moved. So that means here a vacancy is formed here. As well as one chloride ion is missed here. Look here. Here one sodium ion is migrated and one chloride ion is migrated to the other part of the crystal. It won't be fit in the interstitial site here because here the anion size and cation both are larger here. The difference between the size of the anion and cation is almost same. I mean different anion and different cations, they have almost small difference in their sizes so that they cannot fit in this vacant site. So that here the anion and cation both are missing from the crystal. I mean crystal means here in the lattice. So this defect is called as a Schottky defect. Schottky defect is due to the migration of both cation and anion. Cation and anion. This is the first one. The defect that is arising by the migration of the both anion and cation. Equal number of anions and equal number of cations will be migrated. Now what will happen to the density? Because here this anion and the cation are completely missed from this lattice. So that mass will be decreased. So density will be affected. That means here due to Schottky defect the density decreased. Usually it will be observed in molecules like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, cesium chloride. These are ionic compounds, even AgBr. Look here, AgBr will show both the defects, Schottky defect and Frenkel defect. These will be some examples which show the Schottky defect. Here, a small difference between the size of the cation and anion. Small difference, the ionic compound which has small difference in the size of the cation and anion. Size of anion and cation. The difference is small and the coordination numbers should be high here. Coordination number, the ionic compounds with high coordination number will show the Schottky defect. So due to Schottky defect, both the when both anion and cation are missed from the lattice, it causes Schottky defect, and density will be decreased, and it will be observed in the ionic crystals where the difference between the anion size and small cation size is very small, and this is observed in compounds with the high coordination number, and the AgBr will be of course showing both the types of the defects. So this is all about the defects. So today we have discussed stoichiometric defects. The stoichiometric defect is of two types. That is three types. That is stoichiometric defect is vacancy defect. Two types only. Vacancy defect and interstitial defect. And vacancy defect is due to the migration of one ion or particle. And interstitial defect is due to the migration of one ion into the interstitial site here. And it is in anionic compound. But in ionic compound, the same defects are observed in the form of Frenkel and Schottky defect. In Frenkel defect, cation will be migrated to the interstitial sites. That is why this Frenkel defect is also called as a dislocation defect. Because it is dislocating. Dislocation means moving from one location to the other location. In Schottky defect, the point is migrating to the interstitial site. Frenkel defect. In Frenkel, the cation is moving to the interstitial site. In Schottky defect, both anion and cation will be missed from the lattice. So this is what we had studied. Now let us discuss some of the NEET questions from our NEET cave of our college material. So let us go to the NEET section. So I will start from the next question, that is 20th question from our NEET material. I will read the question. The number of unit cells in 58.5 grams of NaCl is nearly. So here, what is the number of unit cells in 58.5 grams of NaCl? So here, mass of NaCl is given. So we can find the number of moles of NaCl. If you find the number of moles, we can find the number of atoms. If you know the number of atoms, you can find the number of unit cells also. Because NaCl is a FCC crystal. So that one FCC crystal, one FCC unit cell will have 4 atoms. That means if we have 4 atoms, that will give 1 unit cell. If we have 8 atoms, that will give 2 unit cells. If we have 12 atoms, that will give 3 unit cells. So that if you know the number of atoms, we can calculate the number of unit cells also. Or if we know the number of unit cells, then we calculate the number of atoms in any particular unit cell. So here what is given? 58.5 grams of NaCl is given. Now I will change it into the moles. Number of moles. What we are going to determine is number of unit cells in this mass. How many number of unit cells we have to determine? Number of moles is equals to 58.5 divided by, what is the formula? Weight divided by molecular weight. What is the molecular mass of NaCl? It is 58.5. That is 1 mole. That means 58.5 grams means that is nothing but 1 mole. 1 mole means how many number of atoms? 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. That means in 58.5 grams of this crystal, we will have 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. But what we know, this is FCC. In FCC, 4 atoms is equals to how much? 1 unit cell. 1 unit cell. That implies 1 atom is equals to 1 by 4 unit cells. 1 atom is equals to, that implies Avogadro number of atoms 6.022 into 10 power 23 number of atoms is equals to 1 by 4 into 6.022, or you can round it to 6.0 only, because here nearly, the question is nearly 6.0 into 10 power 23. You can cancel it. 4 ones 4, 1.5. So how many unit cells are there? 1.5 into 10 power 23. So what is the option here? C. 1.5 into 10 power 23 will be the number of unit cells present in that 58.5 grams of sodium chloride. Now let us move to the next question. That is the 21st question. A cubical closed packing structure, that is nothing but CCP, contains n atoms. So what is the number of atoms in that cubical CCP structure? Capital N is the number of atoms. The tetrahedral and octahedral voids respectively will be, just what will be the number of tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids? It is a CCP here. So whatever it is, number of points is given. Number of atoms are points is given. Number of atoms is equals to capital N. If number of atoms is n, we know that what is the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids. Therefore, number of octahedral voids is equals to octahedral voids is equals to, I already told you, whatever the number of atoms present in that unit cell, that will be the number of octahedral voids. If 10 particles are there, 10 will be the octahedral part. Voids. So number of octahedral voids also be n. But what about the number of tetrahedral voids? Number of tetrahedral voids will be twice to the number of octahedral, so that it will become 2n. So this is standard values. Now what is asked? What is the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids? What is it? Number of tetrahedral is 2n and octahedral is n. So what is the number of atoms? 2n and n. So the options are n and n, 2n and 2n. Third one, 2n and n. So third option is the right option, that is 2n. Number of tetrahedral is first. So 2n and n. So this is the answer. Let us move to the next question. Total volume of atoms present in FCC unit cell of a metal whose radius is r. So here, total volume of the atoms here, not total volume of the atoms we have to find. It is FCC here. It is FCC. And radius r is given. Radius r is given. In FCC, what is the number of atoms? In FCC, it is always 4. So volume of atoms is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. But how many number of atoms we have? 4. So that it is 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. That means 16 by 3 pi r cube is the volume of occupied by the atoms. So what is the right option? Here D. D is 16 by 3 pi r cube. A direct formula. Now let us move to the next objective question. In FCC lattice NaCl structure, if the diameter of Na plus is x and the radius is y, then the edge length of NaCl in the crystal is. So here we have to find the edge length. NaCl crystal is given. FCC crystal, we know it is FCC crystal here. So what is given here? Diameter of NaCl here. Na plus diameter is given. Diameter means 2 into radius of Na plus. If radius is r, then diameter will be 2 into r plus. For Na, the diameter d is given. D means nothing but 2 into radius of sodium. Or you can say r plus. If you want, you can write it r plus cation. Being cation, you can write r plus. Now, radius of so this value is given like x, the diameter is equals to x. It is given that the diameter is equals to x. Now radius of chloride ion radius is given here. Radius r minus is given, that is equals to y. Now we have to find the edge length. So here diameter, that is 2r plus is given for sodium ion. In NaCl crystal, the diameter of Na plus is given. For chloride ion, radius is given. Now what is the edge length? So edge length is here. For FCC crystal, for FCC, the edge length is equals to, directly we have the formula, edge length is equals to 2 into radius of cation plus radius of anion. This is the formula. So this is the formula for edge length, that is 2 into radius of cation plus 2 into radius of anion. But 2 into r plus is known to us, that is x. 2 into r plus value is x. But r minus value is y. So that 2 into r minus y. So that what is the edge length? A is equals to x plus 2y. So this is the formula for edge length. A is equals to 2 into radius of cation plus radius of anion. So what is the right option? Third option, that is x plus 2y. That will be the right option. Now let us move to the next question. The percentage of the free space in a BCC unit cell. The percentage of the free space in a BCC unit cell. So what is the unit cell given here? BCC unit cell. So direct question only, you can directly tell it in BCC. So what is the packing efficiency of simple cubic? You know that it is 52.4. In BCC it is a 68%. So that means here 68% is occupied. What is the vacant? What is the vacancies? 32%. So what will be the vacant space in a BCC? Direct answer, it is 32%. So here the right option is D. That is 32% will be the vacant space. Let us move to the next question. In a spinel structure of O minus 2 ions or in a spinal structure, O minus 2 ions, oxide ions, are in CCP. It is forming CCP, cubical closed pair, nothing but FCC here. Same as the coordination number is same for both of them. Whereas 1 by 8 of the tetrahedral holes are occupied by A plus 2. So here what are the ions here? A plus 2 are the cations present in it. O minus 2 will form CCP lattice, and A plus 2 will occupy 1 by 8 of the tetrahedral voids. 1 by 8 of tetrahedral voids. 1 by 8 of the tetrahedral voids will be occupied by A plus 2 ions, and 1 by 2 of the octahedral voids are occupied by B plus 3 ions. So B plus 3 ions are also there. They will occupy the 1 by 2 of octahedral voids. Octahedral voids. This is the data given. In a CCP lattice, O minus 2 ions form the CCP lattice, and in the holes A plus 2 occupy 1 by 8 of the available tetrahedral voids, and B plus 3 ions will occupy half of the octahedral voids. Now what is the problem is, formula of the compound is, we have to find the formula. Here A is there, B is there, O is there. What is the formula? So what is the number of atoms? It is CCP. So that what will be the number of atoms of oxygen is equals to, can you say CCP, what is the CCP structure, what is the number of atoms? 4. So that oxygens will be 4 here. Therefore, number of tetrahedral voids will be, you know that it is double to the number of atoms, that is 2 into 4, that is equals to 8. Number of octahedral voids is equals to, number of octahedral voids is equals to, number of octahedrals will be same as the number of atoms, so that it will be 4. Now we try to write the formula here. So how many oxygen atoms are there? 4. Now A plus 2, number of A plus 2 ions is equals to, number of A plus 2 ions is equals to, it will occupy 1 by 2, A plus 2 will 1 by 8 of the tetrahedral void. That is nothing but 1 by 8 into tetrahedral voids. 1 by 8 into, what is the tetrahedral voids? It is 8. So that number of A plus 2 ions will be 1. In the same way, number of B plus 3 ions will be equal to 1 by 2 into octahedral voids. 1 by 2 into octahedral voids. What is the number of octahedral voids? 4. So that it is 2. That means number of B atoms is 2. Now what will be the formula here? So if you write in an order here, we have found the number of atoms of O, A and B, number of particles here. So that here A will be, what is the number of atoms of A here? It is 1. So that formula A. And what is the number of atoms of B? It will be, B is 2. So that A, B2. And it is 4. A, B2, O4 will be the formula of the compound. A, B2, O4 will be the, so option is second option. A, B2, or B, O4 will be the formula. We will discuss in the next class. Thank you.